All right, we're recording now, so it's time to get started. As think I've told everybody as we've kind of slowly come into the meeting or the webinar, I've got everybody muted now, and for the rest of the webinar, I'm going to have it to where you're muted, and then you guys can privately send me messages telling me that you've got questions or asking me to slow down or something to that nature. Do please reach out to me if you're not getting a concept. However, if you could save most of the questions for the end, we'll stop the recording and then I'll answer some of your questions that maybe you've got as we're going through the presentation. So it works better that way. It goes a little bit smoother, a little quicker. I will tell you this is an important subject. However, it can be a little bit taxing. There's going to be a lot of terms thrown at you that can, I guess, for lack of a better word, can sound kind of boring and it's not as cool as going out and doing a walk around on a car or training on, the emotion of sales or that type of thing. So it makes it go smoother. Speaking of definitions, I'm going to bring up several definitions right now that I'm going to use throughout the program. And that way you know what they are. I can't stand it when people use acronyms and then you're wondering the whole time. So a couple of acronyms that you're going to refer to is CRM, Customer Retention Management System. That is VinSolutions, what we're covering today. So your CRM is VinSolutions. The DMS is your dealer management system. So the two bigger ones are Reynolds and Reynolds, ADP. There's other ones out there. Those are big ones. This particular dealership, your dealership uses Reynolds and Reynolds. So when you hear me say Reynolds and Reynolds, that's your DMS. VinSolutions is your CRM. A couple other terms you'll hear me say, processes. So you hear me refer to the word process quite often. It'll stop your processes. It could mess up your processes. Processes simply is what we do when we receive a lead or if we wait on somebody, it's what we do day 1 through 31 and beyond in regards to email, phone calls, text, so follow-up. So that's processes, so our follow-up processes. And then lastly, you hear me say the word customer dashboard. Not lastly, there's a couple more. Dashboard just refers to the customer file. Customer dashboard, there should really only be one customer dashboard per customer. And then lastly, status. You hear me say status. So there should be one customer dashboard or customer file. And then within that file, there'll be hopefully lots of statuses, meaning lots of sold. That'd be one status, sold vehicle. There's an active status when they become a prospect. When you're working a deal with them, they're an active process. If you work a deal and you don't get together and they decide not to purchase, it's lost, or if they purchase someplace else. There's bad, which isn't used very often. That's only in training purposes. You'll notice some of mine on the examples I've got with my name on them, they say bad because, again, they were used for training purposes. So active, lost, bad, and then you'll see service. I think those are the majority of the statuses that you will see. So there's statuses within the customer dashboard, the customer file. You could have 5 sold vehicles, so there'd be 5 sold files or 5 sold statuses in there, and then maybe you work 3 deals with them that you didn't get together on, so you have 3 lost, and then they were in there for service. Maybe they're in there today looking at a vehicle, so now they're active again. All right, enough on the definitions. That's really 101 stuff, but I just wanted to make sure everybody knows what we're doing here. So let me buzz through this. Let me get to off of my normal, let's get to the slideshow. All right, so you've seen the title page, VinSolutions for Managers. That's what we're gonna go through today. And you'll see here the first thing, Roman numeral 1, adding a customer. I'm just gonna review with you how to add a customer, simply because that's something you'll probably train your sales staff to do. I know a lot of you feel like that if it's not in Vin, it never happened. If it's not in the CRM, it never happened. There's rules to protect the salespeople. Also, the real thing is to make sure that all the customers get in the CRM, to strengthen your database and to make sure that everybody gets followed up properly. Last, Roman numeral 2, we've got the 6 habits of highly effective sales managers. Kind of stealing from Stephen Covey. So the first one is confirm all appointments, ending showroom visits in real time, updating your sales log, monitoring unanswered emails, or excuse me, unresponded to emails, text. I don't have text, but we're going to also learn that. And then all tasks completed by salespeople, all tasks completed by sales managers. Let's get right at it. So adding a new customer, let's add a mock customer. So if you would go to your VinSolution, now you folks are live with your VinSolution CRM, and I've got one shrunk over in the corner, but I'm gonna just go off of my PowerPoint. So if you go to CRM, then you'll notice you're lit up the CRM, you've got these fields, you're going to click on Add Customer. If you click on Add Customer, it is going to take you right here to Add Customer. So you're going to fill in info. Let's have you practice by filling in your own name, your own email, and your own phone number. So go ahead and do that. Once you do that, please click Find Customer. Okay, so please click Find Customer. So I'm going to stall for a moment and just talk. So enter that in there now. If you've purchased a vehicle at your dealership or put yourself in, will already be in the system, and you're probably going to see something like this. So searches for the existing file if there's a match. So right now, if you're already in the system, you'll see this. And for instance, Chris Youngren, I'm already in the system here, created. So if I was working with Christian Youngren, I would say, hey, it looked like you lived at this address here, the 3908 25th. Is that still good? This is you, okay. Then I would click to select, because as we said earlier, one customer dashboard customer file per customer, he could have several statuses in here. So now he would be an active status. Maybe he purchased a car in the past. I do want to say this, if you click this because you find out Chris Youngren has bought from your dealership, and your salesperson, or you click this, your salesperson, depending on their access, but if they've only got salesperson access, when they hit select, it's going to say see a manager for assistance or an admin for assistance, somebody with higher level of access, because it was already in somebody else's name, unless it's Veronica here. If Joe Norton is the salesperson is trying to enter this guy in here, it's going to say stop. And the manager's going to have to authorize that it's okay. He's going to actually have to put Joe Norton's name as the salesperson, so you can access it, or the salesperson can. If they have never been in the system, this is new, you're going to add them as a new customer. Either way, you're going to go to the next spot you'll go to is the vehicle. So you just plug in your stock number. Lead source would be what brought them in: TV, radio, Auto Trader, Cars.com. So you see here they've got these different sources. You can type in those sources. If you don't know how to do that, I can show you how in a different, outside of this meeting here, we'll do it some other time. Right in here, you see the different sources they've got. Now, one thing I want to remind you is two things that can happen here when you have a lot of sources. One, they can be confused. Salesperson doesn't know if I can get confused. He heard auto, he didn't remember if it was alert or click, doesn't go back and ask the customer, clicks the wrong one, or clicks click when he shouldn't have. Also, you see here, there's two Auto Traders. Good example of which one. If I'm a new salesperson, I have no idea which one you want me to do. Autotrader.com, internet, I'll choose that, but is Auto Trader a different type of source? So what I would tell you is this: train your salespeople well, make sure these are clean in there, make sure there's sources that you still are using. A lot of times you'll try a source for a while and then you'll get rid of them. If you get rid of them, get them out of here, and then if you bring them back, you can always bring them back. But it's confusing for salespeople, and make sure in this situation your salespeople clearly understand which of these two they should be clicking, or in which situation they should click the other. Maybe it's just redundancy and error. Two people put it in there. Maybe there's a reason for this. Maybe you're looking at different things. Maybe this is for if it's an email lead, and this is if they walk in. What I would tell you is this next place that we're going to click will help you better in that regard. So two things: either good training in here so they know what to click on, or just take some of the stuff out. Lead type is where you would put in that it was a walk-in, internet lead, or a phone. There's in fact only three types of lead types. So you've got internet, phone, and you've got the walk-in. So if we click, we typed in walk-in, and I just wanted to point out it was a lead. It was a Cars.com lead. So they told you when you talked to them on the lot, or on the when you first approached them, they said they'd been on Cars.com looking at cars. However, they did not submit a lead. In fact, we put a note in saying that, and therefore they just walked in, so they'd be considered a walk-in. Had they emailed you in and a bunch of back and forth. That way you would designate that the internet lead, at least I would. If they're on the showroom floor, you're working with them right now, they're on the showroom, go ahead and click that right there. If you entered it after they left for lunch, they were there for 10 minutes for lunch, you entered them later, then obviously you're not going to put them on the showroom floor. Put as much notes or as many notes as you can. You can't overnote, and then click add. And add customer, push the button. So for yourself, go ahead and add that. We'll delete it later, don't worry. Somebody just messaged me, what do I do? About cleaning it up, it's going to mess up your stats. I get it. We'll bad lead it later for training purposes. Bad leads don't count against your stats. Nice job. If it looks like this, you've created a customer dashboard for Chris Youngren, or if he was already an existing customer, you just added a new status down here. You see active. Moving along. All right, so showroom visit for BDC appointments. Since you're assigning salesperson, go ahead and log the showroom visit. When a guest, many times most dealerships, or a lot of dealerships now, have a full-blown business development center with 20 people working in there to all the way down to one. Some people have a one-man BDC place. Either way, a lot of times what will happen is when these leads come in, the leads, when they do make an appointment, when that guest makes an appointment, the appointment will be set in the sales manager's name. So what I'm getting at is, we said earlier, if the salesperson of record is not the salesperson that's trying to access this file, they won't be able to get in there and do anything with it. So you've got to assign that to the salesperson. So example here, we've got 2 appointments now coming in tonight. And when Jeff gets here, a salesperson waits on him. We'll say Joe Finorton, the salesperson that waited on him, brings him up to the manager here. The manager, Rob, he goes ahead and says, okay, I'll go ahead and put it in your name, Joe. He puts it in Joe's name. And then as he puts it in Joe's name, you may as well just click start the visit. That way they're on the showroom floor. That way they're for sure in the showroom floor, on the showroom floor, as far as CRM is concerned, VinSolutions. Now they're on the showroom floor. Now that if the salesperson has access, they've created this guest for the first time, they've added this as a new customer dashboard file, then they will have access automatically because they became the salesperson of record. But if it was like in our example earlier where this Veronica was in there, you'd have to change it to their name. They can, if they have access to the file, they can see the customer's name, and then they can go ahead and click visit here, and then they can put the customer on the showroom floor as far as VinSolutions is concerned. And as a side note, you can see these are the statuses I was talking about, active, and then hopefully you'll have a bunch of your solds, not bads. Bads, I just say bad for training purposes. All right, so now we're going to jump into the 6 highly effective habits for sales managers to utilize Vin and get the most out of it. We're going to go through them one by one. So the first one is confirming appointments. Your job is to confirm the appointments. Why? Well, as a sales manager, it is going to be a great way for you to reach out and get to know the customer prior to them coming in. Also, if they have questions that maybe the salesperson or a business development agent couldn't answer and they were planning on not coming in because they didn't get those questions answered, you can be there to help. Other reasons it's important is you just want to monitor appointments, ensuring that you mark them missed or you reschedule them if the customer doesn't show. It can be a real mess in your tasks later. I'll show you. Closing the showroom visit for a customer with an appointment will automatically complete the appointment. Now, completing the appointment in a lot of cases, what it does is the appointment's been completed, so your system now doesn't do anything silly. Some people set their systems up that if the customer misses the appointment by 2 hours, the salesperson is given an alert, which is great. However, I've seen some dealerships that actually send the customer or the guest an email saying, hey, sorry, we missed you. Do you want to reschedule? And the customer's maybe in the showroom floor and you just didn't put them as a customer visit and did a showroom visit with that customer, and then you look silly because they're actually already at your dealership, and then they get this email while they're sitting at your dealership saying, would you like to reschedule? And then canceling the appointment. So when I made this deck, canceling the appointment for this particular dealership messed up some processes. So it says canceling the appointment can potentially stop the process based on dealer settings. So it's not recommended to cancel appointment. That was kind of a self-serving line I put in there for this particular dealership. Canceling the appointment, again, it stops some of the process of the follow-up process. So what you do the 1 through the 30 days, sometimes it completely stops the follow-up process, which in turn means if this customer doesn't come in, that you don't follow this customer up anymore. Canceling kind of means they don't want, it's kind of like a lost lead. They don't want to do it anymore to some systems the way they've set them up. So enough on that. The bottom line is by marking this properly, you're going to tell the system that the customer showed up and that they're on the showroom floor, and therefore the system is going to understand that, and it's not going to create processes or create tasks for salespeople that are incorrect. Okay, so confirm the appointment. You just simply would go to your list of appointments. You click on confirm. Once you click on confirm, it'll take you to this box here. This box here, what it's going to allow you to do is to call the customer with you got the phone number here. I've blocked it out, but that's the phone number spot. You got the time, date, so you've got the information you need. It doesn't have the vehicle on there, so you probably want to look prior to calling the customer. But the sales manager called the customer. The voicemail or the phone call would go like this. Hey, Mr. Crabtree, Chris Youngren here with ABC Motors. Hey, I just wanted to call and thank you so much for setting aside time today at 12:15 to meet with us about that 2019 Kia Sorento that you were interested in. I also see here that you've got a Mercury Grand Marquis to look at, so we'll have I'll have our appraiser ready to take a peek at that. So just wanted to confirm you're going to be here, let you know that we're excited and ready to meet you, and we've got to have the car pulled up and ready to go. Okay? Oh, you're going to be here, great. Now that would be a similar message that you would leave if a customer doesn't have the voicemail set up. Obviously, you can't send the message or you can't leave a message. However, I would text them if you have permission to text. No matter what you do, make the note in here. You left a voicemail, you didn't get an answer, so you couldn't leave a voicemail, so you tried to text, or you can't text because it's a home number, or you don't have authorization to, they haven't opted in, or lastly, you did get a hold of them and they're coming, or you had to reschedule. I personally would say once you've done that, hit confirm, and then it'll show up as confirmed, meaning you're at least tempted to confirm it. Your notes are in here saying exactly what you did. However, you again could have put some type of task and attached a task to the confirmation. So if in CRM, when you were building this, you set up to where if they say yes, they're coming, and you click confirm here, that it shoots out some email automatically that says, hey, thank you, it was great talking to you, we look forward to seeing you at 12:15. If it does something like that, it's going to seem silly if you left a voicemail and you didn't really talk to them, or if you just hit it whenever they didn't answer at all. So again, you have to decide. Key is, I guess a long way for me to tell you, be consistent. To whatever you do, be consistent. I personally hit confirm no matter what. When I attempted to confirm as a sales manager, when I attempted to confirm, I hit the confirm. That way I knew that I had tried. All right, so it's your turn. You guys go ahead. I know, talking to most of you, that in fact everybody except Bill, who come on the call just right as we were starting. You weren't late. It was just right as we were starting. And you all know how to set the appointment. So set the appointment, but go ahead and now confirm the appointment. Give me a thumbs up in my little spot here when you're done. And it looks like most of you were like bored listening to me talk, so you had really done this pretty quickly. So it's all, everybody's good. All right, Bill, you've done it. Good. All right, so let's move on. Habit number 2, ending showroom visits in real time. So why this is important: closing showroom visits is essential to move the customer through the process, whether sold or not. So I won't bore you there. You've got the sold process, you've got a unsold follow-up process, you've got a lost lead process, you've got probably all these different, I know you have these processes. So you want to make sure you market properly. So you move the customer through the proper process. They could get automated emails. It will set up to let your salesperson know how to follow this person up. Unsold customers will recommend closing visits in real time, so the customer immediately moves to the unsold showroom follow-up process. I'll maybe give you an example later on that. So here we go. So for how to get there, once you've got your ending showroom visits, you got your showroom visit list, and you've got that report. Just go to that particular report. Once you're at that report, and in fact, I know you guys are living there because you told me prior to the call that you're living in there. Now, what we do here in this particular case is we go click to end the visit. We click on the Michael Schneider then we would get to this screen here. The manager has to fill in all this information. No, I didn't get to appraise the car. No, I didn't demonstrate. No, we didn't do any of these things. And then the notes would be important here, because the note would probably be something to the effect of, met with the guest, salesperson met with the guest, didn't have an opportunity to be able to test drive. Guest was on the lunch hour, only had 10 minutes, showed them a couple cards of the presentation. However, they're going to come up with another time to reschedule to have them come back and look at the car. So then you would go ahead, and that would help end your visit. Notes, and there you go. All right, so we've got that person. We ended that showroom visit in real time. And again, I said I would use an example. Say it's 10 in the morning, you worked a deal, and the customer didn't purchase, and you wanted to follow up with that customer. So by ending the visit in real time, you might have some automatic emails that go out to this customer. Hey, the salesperson had a great time working with you, or the sales manager would like to meet with you again since we didn't get together. Again, you might have, I've seen some dealerships that got some terrific unsold follow-up emails, text, and word tracks to say to the customer. The point is if you mark it at 10 in the morning that the customer didn't purchase, say 4 or 5 in the afternoon, the salesperson can reach out to the customer, or those automatic emails or the email templates that you've set forth can be sent out. So why is it important here? So verify all the deals are being updated in the DMS. So we're reviewing the sales log. Deliver enables the sold process to be enabled. So the point is that if they didn't buy, we want one process, and unsold follow-up. So we're following this customer. If they did buy, we want a sold follow-up process. So we're shooting out the emails. The salesperson knows what to do. Sometimes you've got emails that go out that talk about free oil changes and car washes, and they're timed at certain amounts of time, like 2 or 3 months after the customer purchases, about the time they need an oil change. You send this out to remind them they got a free oil change, to continue to try to get service retention. And if you forget to do this on the right time, then it could throw that whole thing off. Okay. Maybe not a big deal on an oil change, however, could be a big deal in some other case. And then sold pending or on order vehicles. Customer is marked sold, but sold delivered process will not fire until the customer is marked delivered manually or by the system. Again, similar type of deal here with processes and dotting your I's and crossing your T's. The CRM, I guess at this point I'll say our CRM, VinSolutions, can make you look like the best rock star in the world, because emails will go out. You'll have notifications to yourself to call the customer the weekend after a big softball tournament, and you'll look like a rock star, because the customer says, I can't believe you remembered that my daughter, Jane, was in that softball tournament over the weekend. Yes, she did great. That'll really go a long ways towards your customers. It can also make you look dumb. As we said earlier, the customer is purchased, and they're here in the showroom floor, and then you've got this automatic email that goes out because you didn't mark that they had showed up for their appointment, and then the automatic email goes out that says, hey, sorry we missed you, can we reschedule? And then they're sitting with you and they show you on their phone, hey, look at this email you just sent me, and it looks kind of dumb. They know it's automated, and it makes you look really silly. So how do we do this? Well, what we do is we go to our CRM tab on our VinConnect, go to the dashboard, then we hit the drop down sold log. It's going to bring up a log that looks like this. What we're going to do is we're going to look, so we see here, these are vehicles that say have been delivered, and they say sold here as well. And then also they've got a deal number. Now that deal number is from the DMS or Reynolds and Reynolds. And then this over here is saying that, hey, as far as the system is concerned in VIN, we think it's sold. So what you just run through is just make sure every day that you've got sold showing there and deal number, sold, deal number, sold, deal number, delivered, no sold. What's going on with this one? So you'd stop, you'd find the salesperson, and you would find out what's going on with this. You may find out that we're just holding off doing anything we can't build the deal out because we're waiting for the customer to bring in some steps. They've got to bring in verification of employment in a phone bill or something to that nature. So that's what the holdup is. Or you could find out that they ended up bringing the car back. There was some snafu, they couldn't get financed. I don't know, maybe it's an order out. There again, it's worth you asking about. And the reason for it is because I'm going to assume right here, deal number means that it's two Reynolds and Reynolds, Reynolds and Reynolds, or most DMSs or dealerships, accounting systems. And if it's your accounting system, that's how you get paid. And I'm going to say, if there's no deal number, you're probably not getting paid, right? So you want to get paid. Okay, so matching the DMS to the CRM, matching your Reynolds and Reynolds to your VIN. From time to time, a customer maybe gets taken straight into the business office, and for whatever reason, they weren't entered in VIN. Your manager says, hey, these are friends of mine. They don't have much time. They're paying cash. Let's take them straight into the business office. Salesperson says, but I haven't put them in VIN yet. And you say, don't care, get them in there. And so now you've got a customer that's got a deal number that doesn't have, that's not matched up with VinSolutions. So your reporting in VinSolutions is going to be incorrect. And your processes are going to be all fouled up because the system doesn't know the customer purchased or that that they need to send out these follow-up for sold customers. Now, what do? You go to Insights. Insights is where you can build some reports. I built a report in here for this dealer DMS, or for you guys, DMS CRM to CRM sales customer matching. If you need a refresher, if you don't have this or can't find it, let me know, but I think you all should have it. Once you click on the blue link here, and you can type it in there to find it. Once you click on the blue link and it comes up, you're going to get to this report here. This is going to show you the different people that need to be matched up. So you've got the different people that show that, hey, they were in the DMS, they're in the Reynolds and Reynolds system, and they're also in VinSolutions. Are these maybe the same people? Should we match this up and wrap this thing up so we know that the system knows it's sold? So what you do is you click View Report. If created the Reynolds and Reynolds deal before pushing from the VinSolutions to the DMS, that's what you're looking for. And then if you have a potential match, then you click here. So I crossed out the name so it's not quite as apparent what's going on here. I didn't want to divulge any privacy issues or anything. However, these two match up because you see the name. And so you click the customer match, and then it's going to take you here. So it's showing, hey, up here is the buyer. Here's the customer here in our DMS system. Here's the vehicle they bought. And then here's the lead that you put into VinSolutions. Do these two match? So what you're going to have to do is, maybe you know, but you'll get the salesperson and you'll double check that all this information is correct here, that is the vehicle they did in fact purchase. And then you're going to push reconcile to go ahead and match everything up. So now you've got the customer was in the CRM. The CRM knows that they purchased. They move that over to the DMS. The DMS now has a deal number. They know they purchased. Both systems have talked to each other properly and know what's going on. So there's the matching customer up top. And then the match that appears to match up with, as I've said here, and then you click reconcile. All right, so it's your turn. So just go through yours. I know that there's one in there already that we talked about in a meeting the other day. So just look at that one. And I don't think we reconciled. I think I left it for this meeting. So yes, that is the customer. I'm reading, I'm sorry to people listening to this on the video. I am reading on my screen here. Yes, that's the one. All right, so it looks like you guys are on it. You fixed it. Good. All right. Moving right along. Number 4, monitor unanswered emails and text replies. There's no priority on I guess there could be a priority on these 6 habits. In my opinion, this would be the #1 priority. Your customers are trying to get a hold of you about something. Well, they reached out to you or you reached out to them, and you've probably sent them some type of email. So they're replying to you or they're reaching out to you via text. The point is that you wait around all day for customers to ask you questions or to inquire about things. This is your chance. You don't want to miss this. And if you want to have a life and not work 24/7, you don't always want to be in the CRM. So first thing in the morning, what I would do is go in here and see what salespeople have customers that have reached out to them after were done yesterday for their shift, and maybe overnight because you've got people that work third shifts and whatnot. So real important, the reason is that I've kind of alluded to, let you see the emails and texts that are pending that need a response, monitor frequency to ensure your dealership's delivering strong customer experience. So go to that insights reporting again, and this report's been built in there for you for each one of your stores. And so obviously you know which one you're going to click on, right? You can search up here, and then you click on the one I showed you, the unanswered email and text replies, and then you'll see here that you've got, now this is a different dealer, but again, you'll see here, this isn't you, but you'll see here that you've got a sales lead or a salesperson or a sales group. You've got this particular person. This person has emailed them. So all these are emails. If it was text, it'd say text there. It shows when they had emailed in or when they had texted in. And so you know, hey, it was just that last night. You'll see some at 5 in the morning. You'll see some at midnight. You'll see some at 2 in the morning. Here's one at 2 a.m. So you want to make sure you get back to them. That'd be the first thing I would do. This would probably be my number one priority, is making sure salespeople knew that they got customers that they reached out to that are trying to respond to them. Your return, all you need to do is look. So I know that report is built. In fact, everybody's giving me thumbs up. You guys want me to move on, but you'd already found it, so good. I'm glad, yes. So Mark in here says that he was doing this prior to talking to me. They had this built a while back, and we had built it a while back, and so he said that he's already been doing this. Good for you. Good job, Mark. All right, number 5, complete manager tasks. So this is, you've got your own tasks in there. One of them we've already talked about is to call and confirm appointments. It's to mark appointments and showroom visits. All right, so why it's important: addressing customer-related time-critical tasks vital to the success of your dealership. Examples, opportunities, moving customers through the process, salespeople, skate alerts. I think the biggest one's lead by example. So you're leading by example. Okay, so where do you find these? CRM, back up on that dashboard. I didn't copy the whole thing here for you, but the CRM. And then we've got the dashboard right here, and then you've got tasks, and then you just click on the task. Okay, sorry about that little delay. All right, so click tasks. That's going to take us to our task page. So I wasn't able to capture all of this. You can see yours on your screens right now. And what you've got is your lead buckets. You've got your overdue tasks. Now, if you're doing these every day, you won't have any overdue tasks. You shouldn't. Maybe you have your day off. If you've been gone for a couple of days or something, you will have some in there. But you'll notice like this particular one. Actually, let's go up to the top here. So all types of tasks. If you want to just go to all your tasks, which is what we're on now, you'd hit all. If you just want to look at what is the newer tasks, you just want to look at your overdue tasks. You just want to look at just the follow-up types of things you have to do. Replies. So if you reached out to somebody as a manager, hey, wanted to reach out to you, we think that trade could be worth more money, want to come up with a time that you can bring it in, have me take another look at it, or have one of my partners take a look at it, you could see if you had any replies. Although you might see that if you add your name to the report on the unanswered text and email replies. However, again, I digress. And then lastly, you've got follow-ups, overdue tasks, and then CT stands for call tracking. If you have the call tracking feature, you can click there and it'll show you tasks there. However, if you do not have that, then there's going to be nothing there. So you folks don't have it, so there's nothing there. If you wanted to print this, you could. You could print it off. If you're a general manager, you could print this off to all your managers and let them know that you've been in there looking to see if they've got tasks. Buzzing down here, the reason why, so sort by lead type or by type of task. And then here, the task dictates your action. So for instance, here, you don't have to make a phone call. You don't have to shoot an email out. You don't have to call a salesperson up. You might. In fact, you probably will. The customer was marked sold pending 6 months ago. Has customer taken delivery of this vehicle? If not, it needs to be marked delivered. So this is one of those matching the sold report matching. We were talking about matching the DMS and the CRM. This hopefully we get caught then. So it's interesting. Some of the things you see on here right now are things that would not be on here, overdues, and this right here would not be on here had we been doing the 6 daily tasks every day. Past due, again, shows the right side of your dashboard. So you've got, that was the left side we were looking at. The right side shows all the appointments, shows your sales goals, shows your team's appointments. And again, we've got a lot of past due appointments on here right now. And so obviously we get with the salespeople and find out what's going on and get these cleaned up. Actually, that's the customer. So we get with the salesperson here and find out what's going on and get these rescheduled or marked as canceled, or figure out what's going on, or were they delivered, did they show up? A lot of times they show up and don't get. Again, a good example of, we just don't know if they maybe showed up and we didn't mark them, or they didn't show up at all, or they didn't show and the salesperson talked to them for a few, they did show, the salesperson talked to them for a few minutes, but didn't get a chance to work with them, so they never put anything in here. So there's that old silly 1988 computer saying of garbage in, garbage out, but it's still true today. If you don't put good stuff in here, you don't get good stuff out of it. So put everything in here. It's your turn. All you need to do is look at yours, and I'm going to move on because I know you guys are all looking. There's nothing really to do. You're looking at what you got in there. It looks like some of you are trying to fiddle with your tasks, but again, you can go in there at your leisure, although I think most of you have seen it. Moving on, so number 6, and that's just ensuring your salespeople do their tasks. They've got tasks as well. You need to inspect what you expect, and you also need to practice what you preach. So practice what you preach by you doing your tasks, and then you're going to inspect what you expect, which is them to do their tasks. Why? Because what we just said, I don't know if I've got that down there, but all tasks should be closed by the end of the day. Tasks that are not closed will highlight as overdue. So again, we talked about why things don't want to be overdue. It's processes, it's customer follow-up. It can make you look silly, make you lose a deal. So money would be a big one. Follow-up to insurance sold follow-up traffic is waited on. So we talked earlier about that person in at 10 in the morning and at 5 at night, you would try to follow them up. And maybe some of you, when you heard that, like, gosh, that's kind of quick. I mean, I want to be pushy. I don't want to follow them up too quick. I mean, they might not want to buy from me. Well, 38% of the people buy in 4 hours. So at what, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they might have already bought. There's a 38% chance they bought. If we wait 3 days, it's 57%. And then if we wait 90 days here, or excuse me, we wait 1 week. We wait 90 days, they've probably bought. If we wait 1 week, it's 90%. So that's the reason we want to follow up early and follow up often. Where do you find these? On your dashboard. I know most of you have already seen this, but just to double check and make sure everybody knows. And I will send this deck out, by the way, as a reference for all you guys after the meeting. Just make sure I got your email address. Shoot that in the message, the private message box to me. Look on the right side of the CRM dashboard tab, and then you click on their name. If you click on their name, you will go to their tasks on the one page. So it's similar, it's just like yours. You got all the tasks on the one side, same stuff up here. They can go right to them, or you can go right to them. You can go to their overdues if you wanted to right away. So this guy here's clean. And then their dashboards over here, and they've got the appointments they've got personally for the day, your appointments or for your whole team. This is for them for the day. That's their service appointments. They can see that this person's going to be on service. They might make sure they're over in the lounge at that time to say hi, maybe get them a coffee, recent website traffic, and then leads that were within the last 96 hours. That's for each individual salesperson. A great little spot to go for a quick one-on-one. Why couldn't you bring your salesperson up for 5 minutes every day and just say, hey, let's spin this around, say, let's walk through this, and then walk through it with them real quick. Inspecting what you expect. Tasks, salesperson tasks. All right, so it's your turn. Pick a salesperson, go to it. Although I think I'm getting thumbs up from everybody. So Yeah, I know. It does take a little time to get through this. However, it's extremely important. And I know that several of you have given me a couple thumbs up, and there's been a couple little things that you just need to get cleared up. A lot of times that's the way it is with these computer type of program questions. It's like one or two little tidbits that you get out of a 30-minute program, but those little tidbits you get are extremely important. Plus, you'll have this deck for future reference. Okay, so I give you a bonus. So the 6 highly effective habits turned into 7. So I'm giving you a bonus best practice. Actually, it's not so much a habit. It's just a best practice. And I just want to make sure you're aware of its wish list. So I think the wish lists are very important. Why? My wish lists, are you about ready to go to the auction and buy cars? Well, maybe not right now you aren't, but at some point you're going to want to buy cars again. Check out your wish list to ensure the cars you buy are the ones that your customers are searching for, and then ensures your reps are following up with customers and match the vehicles from their wish list. So the wish list works similar to what I had in 1992 when I was in the sales floor. I had this list that I called a want list, customer wants, vehicle want list. And what it was just mine was just a loose leaf sheet of paper with customers' names that I didn't have a vehicle that they wanted when I showed them what we had in stock at that time, maybe 20 days ago, maybe 2 days ago. And I wrote down what their ideal vehicle was. I always tried to loosen it up a little so it made the parameters more where I could have more vehicles to call them on. But my point is each day I walked through the lot and tried to see if I could match up this piece of paper with what I could see on the lot. Now, this system does this for you. It's just a fancy system that does this for you, and it makes sure that nothing gets missed, because you know what, somebody could, a salesperson, I mean, no one ever tries to hide a car at your dealership, right? Hide a used car so they can sell it to their friend or one of their customers. This system allows it to where you're going to see every vehicle that you've got in stock. In fact, it even is cool enough that when you appraise vehicles, it will see that you appraised a vehicle that is similar to the one that you've got a customer or a client that's possibly interested in. And it'll let you know that, hey, somebody was working a deal on this, and maybe you can get with that manager and say, hey, how close are you to putting that together? Hey, my customer will pay X. If you want to give another $500 to the customer on the trade, we should be good there, because I think, you know, I've got a customer who's very interested in the car, and we can sell it and make 2 deals, maybe not a big deal, but we can make a deal here and a deal here. So how do you get to it? CRM, click on dashboard, drop down to my wish list. When you drop down to my wish list, you're going to see the matches, and then you're going to click on the matches. When you click on the matches, you get something that comes up like this. So it shows all the vehicle, it views the matches, excuse me, it shows you all the customers that have wish lists. Then to click here, that's going to view the matches. So I've got the arrow there and I misspoke. So it's view matches here, backspace. Okay, so this takes you to your list. You click here, you get the matches. It shows you the matches. Click there, it's going to take you to all the matches. Now, I had 2 different vehicles in there. You might have noticed that was a truck, and these are Toyota RAVs, so I just used 2 different dealerships or 2 different customers for my example. However, it still works the same. When you clicked on that button, you get all your matches. So in this case, the customer was interested in new Toyota RAVs. Maybe consider a certified, so it's showing you everything that you've got there, so you can call your customer. And again, maybe they were particular. And now, what I would tell you again with the wish list, if you can keep the parameters loose, keep them loose. So if they're interested in a Jeep Wrangler to just tool around on the weekends, they'll probably take several model years. You can probably go 2010 all the way through 2020. However, if they're specifically, and so I would keep that loose so you get all the Jeeps when one comes in stock, because you don't get a lot of them. However, let's say they're very, very super duper specific. They've got a business and the car has to be red and it has to be equipped in a certain way for whatever reasons. Well, then you can put those parameters in there, and when you get the exact match, it comes up. I think you can see how that can be extremely helpful. It can help you put together 2 deals out of 1. It can help you sell a car a lot quicker. Again, one of the neat features that I think that this provides for you is the fact that if you're trying to trade for a vehicle, it lets the salesperson know that there's a vehicle you're trying to trade for. And again, that gives you the ability to possibly make 2 deals. Okay, so your turn, and I'm getting thumbs up from everybody that you've already done that. So you're jumping ahead while I'm talking. Good for you. Well, I would say that's it. That's all, folks, as Porky Pig says. If you've got questions, email me. I've got the email address down here. So just shoot me an email. After we get off, I'm going to end the recording, and then I'm going to open it up to where we can ask questions. I'll bring everybody back to where we can all chat, Zoom face to face. Okay. So goodbye to our video audience. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Hopefully this is helpful to you.